वही कर दो ना.
अब होगा स्टार्ट उसके ऊपर फेसबुक पर.
Okay, going live.
Okay.
Yeah, live.
Hello everybody, this is Amitabh Bachchan, and as you can see I'm here with the entire cast and crew of our film called Pink. We have just returned from a theatre where we released the first trailer and have got some very exciting responses. So in order for you to share that response, we want to play the trailer again for you. Have a look at it, and then we are here to answer all the questions that you want to ask us. Thank you.
So we are waiting for your response and for your questions. We'll try to answer as many as possible. So shoot your questions.
So the first one is up for Shujita. First Piku and now Pink. Are we looking at a hit hat-trick?
I don't know. I don't have the formula for hit hat-trick. I mean, I don't know. Yes, Piku was. I was fortunate that it worked in the box office, and I hope this Pink works in the box office. And I'll be happy that if it really works and it becomes a hit hat-trick.
Yeah, but the point is that his hat-trick is already done.
Yeah.
There was Vicky Dona, there was Madras Cafe, and there was Piku. So hat-trick is over.
Yeah.
I mean, this
It's
is
a
the
new
beginning of the next
New
hat-trick.
hat-trick.
A double hat trick it could be.
Shujita, the next one is also for you. Was this cast your first choice for the roles?
Please be honest.
No,
We are all yours.
Yeah, now you on the spot.
in
We are
this
all
film,
yours.
yes, I'll tell you what. Rest of the other cast, apart from Mr. Bachchan, yes, we debated, me and Tony and Ronnie and Ritesh. But I think first time we came and it's the same place where we sat and just gave 2 lines to Mr. Bachchan and said, we asked, will you grateful that you become the part of this particular film. This film is so important. And then he was casted, and then rest of the cast. But whatever it is, I'm extremely happy with whatever casting we've finally done.
That was a very diplomatic answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
सच ये है कि
Okay, we are the
मैं
best.
खुश हूँ इस casting से.
Was it difficult to hand over direction to another person?
No, I know Amitabh Roy Chaudhary for a long time. He's won 2 national awards for 2 Bengali films. This is his first Hindi film. He wanted to make this film in Bengali when the idea came in, but I think then me and Ronnie suggested that we should make this film in Hindi and we should place it in Delhi, and this should be your Hindi debut. And then we hired Ritesh Shah, the writer, and that started working on the script. But no, I mean, I was there as a coach in this film, like a team. So you can say I was the head coach, but no, it was not a problem in handing over the direction to Amitabh Roy Chaudhary.
Aniruddha, fans want to know why you called Tony.
So that's a long story.
Because Aniruddh is a very long name.
Roy Chaudhary is wrong.
Aniruddh Roy Chaudhary, so might be just Tony, I mean.
No, I used to study in a
Yeah.
school called South Point High School. That point of time, we had 14,000 students, and there were in our group there was another Aniruddha, and I used to look like a 6 feet 2 inches Australian fast bowler. So they started calling me Tony, and from Moni to it became Tony.
Were there any creative differences on the set between you and Shujita?
No, not at all. We discussed everything before we started the film, and I come from classical music, gharana. I love classical music. The tune was, set, and it was the same raga which played. One thing I can tell you, every bit of this film, every frame of this film is very true. There is no difference, and it's a wonderful collaborative, effort. And I want to do my next film like this only.
Mr. Bachchan, our next question is to you. At your seniority and experience, do you feel the need to prepare for a role in advance?
Yeah, I prepare for every role months in advance. I prepare for it the night before. I have sleepless nights. I worry what is going to happen the next day. I need to rehearse many times because I need to know my lines. But Primarily, I don't want to make a fool of myself once the camera starts. So we are conscious of that. And why are you laughing? That's a fact. And I have to say this, that when you are working with such exceptional co-artists, it's an additional pressure on your mind.
This was a joke.
Look, see the film, and then you honestly tell me, you will not see me in this film at all. You will only see these wonderful ladies and these wonderful gentlemen standing behind. They are the true essence of this film. They are so natural, they are so relaxed, and it surprises me that, in almost their very first ventures, how are they able to perform with such naturalness and such a casual way? It doesn't look as though they're performing at all. And that's a quality which you will find in this film. I've had the great honor and pleasure to be working with them. I hope I can work with them. But seriously, I'm telling you, I'm not joking. This is really exceptional work, and I do hope that you will see it and recognize it, and talk to your friends and people about it, because they are truly the ones that are going to take this film wherever it has to go.
That's so sweet.
Another fan wants to ask the rest of the cast, how does it feel when Mr. Bachchan compliments you so patiently?
First, you don't believe it. First, you don't believe it, and then because he's saying it with so honesty, then you're like, okay, sir, if you insist.
We kind of go pink every time sir talks about all of us like that.
That is the most original answer that I've ever heard in my entire life.
You can now go for Miss India.
Yeah.
So, no, it's just, it's an absolute, I mean, you feel overwhelmed to hear such words from someone like him, and
look,
the pleasure was all ours.
when you appreciate somebody's performance, you have to understand that the person standing in front of them is the better actor. If you like my performance, then the person that was standing in front of me has performed to exception.
Yeah, I agree.
Which is why it's reflected
I
on
agree,
you.
sir. I agree.
And therefore, whenever you appreciate somebody's work, please also appreciate the person with whom he's working. Because if they were bad, I'm going to look bad. If I'm going to look good, or if she's going to look good, the person standing in front of her, along with her, has performed equally well for her to come out looking good.
Yeah.
True. No, that's the most original answer.
And another fan wants to know, while shooting, did you guys constantly keep thinking, I am working with Mr. Bachchan? The rest of the cast?
Oh yes.
Rubbish.
I was so excited.
Because I was partying with them because they were all around me.
He was calming us down.
He was calming us down. Yeah. Our first workshop, like first meeting with sir, like the three girls, was right here in his office.
Yeah.
And I remember very clearly that there was this excitement of meeting Amitabh Bachchan. But the moment I entered, it was, I think it's meeting him was just so warm. He was just so warm and so welcoming and so casual about
Served us
meeting
some
us,
good food.
being Amitabh Bachchan, that we were like,
I mean,
whoa,
what is so special about that?
well,
I mean, it isn't. It's just like, we're all working in a project together. We have to look at the project, not at ourselves.
the feeling of working with Mr. Bachchan kept, coming back to us, like once in a while. Suddenly we'll be like, oh my God, shit, we are working with Amitabh Bachchan.
No.
But I think as a co-actor, I think I personally felt it was very, very. He is one of the most comfortable people to work with, and I mean, it's great to have him as a co-actor.
What else should be the atmosphere on a set?
Absolutely,
I mean,
that's
when we all get assigned to work in a project, that's how we should be working.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're all working not for ourselves individually. We're working for the project. And if the project is exciting enough and you have exciting people to guide us, that's it. Most of what we have done, I can say for myself, I know that the girls have done something exceptional, which is something that they have contributed on our own. But I have had to get back to Shujit, get back to Tony, and keep asking all the time, is it going right? Is it going wrong? Should we change? And there have been many times when he has said, I think you're going wrong, we need to do this, and we've had to change. But I didn't see him ever coming to correct any of the ladies. Seriously, and let me tell you that every time there were these long 15-20 minute shots, And when the shot was over, with either Kirti or with this young lady from Northeast and from this bubbly girl, there used to be a spontaneous applause on set. And Shujit and Tony used to come running out from the monitors to hold them, to hug them and say, "What are you guys doing?" So unbelievable.
Yeah, that was his line. What are you guys doing?
What are you guys doing? Which means that even he had not, sort of expected that this is what's going to be done by these girls. It was a unique moment, right?
Our next question is for Andrea. How does it feel to make your debut with such an experienced star cast?
Wow. Like I said, it was very unreal. I never expected to be acting alongside Mr. Bachchan or anyone else. Actually, I never expected that. So it was a very.
But she wasn't acting at all. She was just being very natural. I mean, when you see the film, you realize that she's just been extremely natural and calm and collected. As I said, you won't feel that any of these artists have actually acted or performed. They've just been themselves. They've just been the character. That's remarkable. That's incredible.
The next question is, who was the most energetic person on the set?
Shujit sir. Shujit sir. Shujit. He was a jumping jack on the set.
Because he'd be in front of the monitor, then he'd come out and fix the cameras, and he'd come and slap a few one of us and get the lines right. Then he's running out onto the street to control the traffic, then he's talking to the cops, and he's getting the car started. I mean,
he's also trying to stop the music coming.
Stop the music coming from wherever it is coming. He's omnipresent.
All of that.
Our next question is for Mr. Bachchan from a young fan who wants to know, how does Mr. Bachchan approach a film?
How do I approach a film? Actually, I don't. It's the producer and the director that approach me. They approach me with a story. I listen to it. I hope that they will take me in that film. And fortunately, they accepted me, and here I am.
Our next question is for Angad. How often do you get asked if you wanted to be a cricketer instead?
Well, almost every day actually. But I'm really proud that I belong to a cricketing family. I'm extremely proud to be Bishan Bedi's son. I think that will always stay with me, and I really value that. In fact, I treasure it. But my childhood dream was to be in cinema. It was to act with a man called Amitabh Bachchan, and I've actually fulfilled that. हिंदुस्तान के लिए तो बहुत लोग खेलते हैं, लेकिन कितने लोग अमिताभ बच्चन साहब जैसे के साथ काम कर सकते हैं? Smile, good fortune.
Now you can go walk. Himalaya में चल के
अभी मैं निकल के जा सकता हूँ.
Life purpose
It's fulfilled. We share the same initials, sir, by the way.
Yeah, AB.
AB.
Our next question is for Taapsee. We see Mr. Bachchan questioning you with some very shocking questions in the trailer itself, and you're visibly trembling. Did you actually feel that way?
When I was doing the film, I felt every bit of it. I did try to psych myself out as much as possible to, act however I was supposed to. At that time, yeah, I felt every bit of it. Now I'm happily out of it. Thank God it's over.
Our next question is for
May I just add to that, because they are more spontaneous than at least me. I will go there. I'll come early in the morning.
I think he's just complaining that he didn't come and rehearse with you.
Yeah, I'll tell you why. There's a reason. Because I don't feel confident enough to be able to perform the moment I get my lines and get in front of the camera. But these girls, every time I ask them to join me in the rehearsal, they would say, "Sir, क्या जरूरत है करने की यार? Take ही कर लो ना." And that's because they conserve their spontaneity for the take, which is in many ways a great blessing in acting. There are many people who want to keep rehearsing so that they get the lines right, they get the emotions right, and they can play around with it. But I think that there is a huge amount of quality in spontaneity, and that's what they were teaching me. That don't call us for rehearsals because I want to be spontaneous, and that in itself is reflected in the film when you see it. You can see me as having already known my lines and rehearsing it, it's not coming spontaneously. This is what I feel. But if you watch them, they're absolutely spontaneous. They add lines, they add emotions, they add movements, which were not asked of them to do. But it fell in line with the character, and that's the great quality about the performance.
My God.
Yeah, really.
We are not going for Himalayas after this.
Yeah,
we are all going for Himalayas.
We are
after
taking
this.
off.
Yeah.
Our next question is for all the gentlemen here. Should men wear pink?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Of course.
why not? Of
The
course.
men look
Why not?
really hot in pink.
Yeah, I think pink is really good.
Yeah. Even though none of them wore pink today, but still.
I know.
Next
I
time.
know.
Keep on wearing on and off.
Next time.
In one of the shoots, I've seen Mr. Bachchan having a. I think you have a coat, pink color coat, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen one. He didn't wear on this one, but he bought for one of the shoots. So I was really amazed by that.
Yeah, what's wrong with pink? I don't know.
A 10-year-old kid called me today after watching this thing trailer, and she told me pink is the coolest color.
It is.
The next question is for Kirti. We haven't seen you in a while, so are we going to see a different Kirti?
Yes, that's something I can promise to you, that every time you see me on screen, it will be a different Kirti. So yeah, it's a different Kirti this time as well.
Ask us.
Andrea, could you give a special shout out to your fans in your hometown?
I would just like to say that I'm extremely happy and proud to be representing the Northeast and Shillong in particular. And like I said earlier, there's nothing that can stop you if you want to do something. If you put your mind to it, no one and nothing can stop you. Yeah, and I'm just a small part of it. And yeah, that's
Come and watch the film, guys.
and come and watch the film.
Yeah, Shillong.
I hope you enjoyed the trailer as well.
Let me tell you
And
that
shares.
we are really proud, and it's a privilege that Andrea is there in this film and she's working
Yeah.
with us. It's really a beautiful. It was really a beautiful moment whenever she was on screen and she was walk on the set. We are really happy and we are proud of her.
And she's a beautiful singer.
Yeah.
Thank you. So are you. By the way.
The next question is to everyone. If in real life you could live together with two friends, whom would each of you pick?
I'd pick all of them.
We can vouch for that actually. Yeah, we kind of vouch for that.
No, I think it was, for me, it was one of the best teams that I worked with. And it was a pure teamwork. You know, normally we say the film is teamwork, and in this film we actually experienced it. It was like as I said earlier, that it was like an 11-member football team were playing. Everyone is performing, everyone is playing at the same speed. So that was really, really, really good and beautiful.
Technically, I think I just want to add something, that most of the time, particularly in certain portions of the film, we were shooting with 6 cameras, 6 different cameras.
Yeah.
And because it's digital, there's no, hesitating on wanting to cut it, because in the old times when I used to work, we always had this problem about wastage of film. Now there is no such thing, and the camera runs for hours. For an entire group of artists, all of them on the set, in different parts of the set, 6 cameras catching all of them, and an entire scene going on. It's remarkable how, firstly, of course, from the camera department, how they were able to light up the place, capture each one of our expressions and moments, and also for each one of us to know that we are being watched, we are being filmed, and that we have to participate in what's going on. Most of the time what happens is when you're doing a close-up, the others go off and going and having some coffee or sit in their vans, and you're doing your close-up with a vacant screen in front of you. But it was just fantastic to have each one of us there, supporting each other, giving the cues, knowing that whatever they're going to say and whatever they're going to do is going to be captured by the camera, and it could be used in the film. So that was a novel experience. For me, absolutely a novel experience. I've never done shots which are almost 15, 20 pages long in one shot. And that's quite remarkable. So you can imagine the kind of preparation, the kind of talent that I had with me to be able to execute something like this.
Our next question is for Tapsi. there are lines like "Show me what you got, bottle marungi." Is that something the real life Taapsee would have said?
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyone
Very much. I think they all have answered. I think, yeah, I can be pretty nasty if I'm pushed to the wall, yeah.
I think anyone can play that state in the situation. I mean, it's not about one person.
It's not just the film dialogue that
Yeah.
you see.
It's the
We
real
faced
state.
it every day during the shoot, so but I can't tell you all those, but we faced it.
But
It was not a bottle, but something else.
Maybe a plastic bottle.
Something or the other, but anyway, yeah.
A general question to everyone. The film seems to point out continual questioning of a woman's character. Is that something you have experienced or seen?
Oh, yes, I think we all have experienced that. Yes.
That's why we have made this film.
And I think that's one thing that we...
Moral policing is everywhere.
Yeah, and because all of us have experienced it in different forms at different points of our lives, I think that was the main connecting point that we could all sort of...
And that's why we look
felt so
real.
much for the subject.
Yeah.
A lot of what happens in society is discussed and perhaps not talked of, or is talked of behind closed doors. I think it's a very bold attempt on the part of Shujit and Tony to bring this subject out in the open and to be able to freely talk about it with an extreme sense of honesty. And that really is what's attractive about the film. Yes, there are things which are harsh, that are perhaps unpalatable, but that's what reality is. We see so much of this on the streets every day, and we hear of stories where women, even though they go through this harassment, are embarrassed or are pressurized not to talk about it because their own condition is going to get jeopardized. And I think that what this film really addresses is that women actually had the strength, which is why we have the title Pink, had the strength to come out and talk about it, take action against it, and face some kind of a result. That really is the strength of the film, I feel. I don't know if Shujit agrees with that.
Oh, yeah, yes, sir. Yes, it is absolutely the essence of this film. That if someone is pushed to the wall, and is there a strength in her to protest, and that's what you're going to see. But I think, as I said, that it is hard hitting, but finally it's a cinema. I think cinema is to enjoy and get entertained. I think this thrilling experience will be that you will remember, I think so, because of its entertainment quality also.
Feelings have always been very dominant as far as women are concerned. And I think perhaps after a very, very long time, for the first time in India at least after the Nirbhaya incident, we found women coming out on the streets in such large numbers and expressing what they had been perhaps holding in within themselves after a very, very long time. And I think that was not just a revolt, but an opportunity to express yourself freely and not be misunderstood. That's important in the life of every woman. And she should have the liberty to show her strength, act on it. And I quoted at the press conference just now a wonderful sentence that I read in an editorial, which said that a woman's body is not a democracy, it is a dictatorship, and it's about time that the dictator took charge. ये नारी का शरीर जो है ये प्रजातंत्र नहीं है, ये एक डिक्टेटर है, और अब समय आ गया है कि नारी जो है वो अपना डिक्टेटर बने. So she has to dictate now. She can't be looked upon as a democracy where everybody comes and votes and there's a public opinion about it. She has to show her strength, and that's what Pink means. It means the empowerment of women.
Right. So we're taking 3 more questions in the end. Taapsee, we're getting a lot of love from a lot of male fans who are asking you to just give a little shout out to them.
Yay, I love you too. Please go watch the movie now.
Angad, we have a question.
Any girls?
Sir, we love you, sir. We love you, sir.
Thank you so much. It's really nice to know.
Angad, yeah.
Angad, a question for you. From the team, who would you not choose to confront in court?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I don't need to say it. He's right here. Yes, I would actually tend to avoid that because we were shooting a scene and as soon as Mr. Bachchan walked forward, I was walking backward. So that was happening. It's very easy to say that, you know, how do you can overcome yourself. You have to tell yourself it's not Mr. Bachchan. वो कहने में अच्छा लगता है कि you know that's Deepak ji the lawyer and it's not Amitabh Bachchan, but you can feel it no matter how much you want to even tell yourself. The honest truth is that is Amitabh Bachchan and that is Amitabh Bachchan and that is Amitabh Bachchan.
Yeah, we acted like that only, sir.
No, the fact is that, you know, everyone's contribution has been so immense in this film, and I really want to compliment that moment where there were many occasions when all of us lost ourselves to an extent where we internally and externally broke down. But every time that happened, I know it was part of the sequence, but it continued even after the sequence was over. But what was really wonderful was to see the rest of us getting together to comfort, to calm down the person, bring them down to earth. But that's how most of us reacted during the making of this film. There were grave moments, there were great moments, but yes, there were moments when we were so absolutely intoxicated with whatever we were doing and whatever we were believing in. It was just a tremendous.
Oh, we have a special guest.
I'm promoting my team here.
So we come to the end of our Facebook live chat.
How can we come to the end? We want to talk more. One of the producers has just walked in. Maybe you should answer some questions.
Maybe share his experience from the sets.
He's gone.
It's gone?
Yeah.
Could each one of you tell us what can the audience take away from Pink when they walk out of the theatres finally seeing it?
Lots of impressions to come back at least 100 times to see this film.
Yes, I think I'll go with it. In one viewing, you will not be able to complete this film. You'll have to keep coming back and find out many more nuances of our social system, reflections of the society, what we have. I think that's been captured in this film. You'll keep coming back and see it. And the most important thing, what I feel, I can't talk what a woman thinks about this film because we as the men has made this film, but I have a strong feeling that every woman in this country of this age, of the teenage, the girls who are getting into 16 to 17, 17 to 18, and till say 30, working women, when they walk in the street, when they go out, what they face every day, somewhere in the film they will relate to it. That something must have happened with them at some point in their life.
According to me, I think you can take back the truth, you can take back strength, you can take back questions, loads of questions in your heads about how you as a part of the society see women and view them and judge them and question those judgments and keep coming back for more.
It's she power, you know, and every time it's very difficult to tell you right now what audience will think. While working in this film, you know, the post, every time I was watching this and I was discovering something new and I was getting choked.
I think I would say this film, boys should be watching it more. Like, especially 14 to 21, because they don't know, they're still growing up, they don't know what they have learned, because there's something which is ingrained into them when they are born in this society.
Yes.
And they will learn that what they have learned is wrong, and this film can teach them a lot.
I think one word for me would be authenticity. I mean, it is something that's very raw in terms of understanding, which we don't express too much, but we do see it, feel it right in front of us, both as boys and girls.
This film should be like a statement where it should be shown in schools, colleges, people when they talk about it, especially teachers, principals, parents, grandparents, they should make their children watch it because it's like setting an example. So this film actually should be more like a novel that you can watch it again and again and again. And many years down the line, this film should be spoken about, because this is about us as human beings.
Two things. First is, I think not just for the girls and the boys, I think entire family, please go and watch it, because of girls, obviously, she's mentioned it, boys, Ronnie just mentioned it. Parents, because they are the ones who should know what kind of teachings are getting imparted to their kids, be it a girl or a boy. I think you also need to go and watch it. And secondly, I think we all have given a part of our heart to this film, so please take our heart back out of the theatre and please handle it with care and keep it safe.
Lovely.
You know, all this talk may be sounding as though this is some kind of a documentary. It's not. It's actually a wonderful film.
It is thrilling.
Which is thrilling and exciting. And the subtlety is how these very strong words, messages, ideas, thoughts have been inculcated in the scripting. But it is, you know, an entertaining film.
Yes.
Be at the edge of your seat till the end.
2 hours. Thank you.
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.